Hey guys, it's Alex here, and we are back with Rhydywmwyn for our Season 2 review with them. We have just finished the 23-12 season, and it has been a very interesting season overall. This year we had a new formation, and we were in Europe for the first time ever, so let's see how it went. So, if you don't remember from last episode, part of the new rules of each season with Rhydywmwyn is that we have to change the formation every season, and we have a wheel of all of the base formations in the game. So if I look at the... No, where is it? Where is it? Set to formation. Here we go. Yes. We've got these formations, and then we've got all of these ones here. So all of these go on a wheel, and we spin it at the end of each season, and that is the formation for the next season. And this is the formation we got at the end of the first season, the 4-1-2-3 narrow. I thought at the time that it might be sort of like the DM, 2 centre mids, and 2 attacking midfielders. So I was like, okay, that's not the worst. But then we saw what it actually is, and it is extremely attack heavy. Not much defense going on here, which I thought was going to be a big issue for us. But we figured out how to work it through the help of one of our chatters, Duck God, how to maybe get the best out of this formation. And we didn't have that bad of a season. But, of course, we had the tactics. We then had to go find the players as well. So let's go look at the transfers. So, first up to leave was Alan, a 34-year-old centre-back to TNS for 50k. Never really did too much for us. We bought him before I was here, and he never played for us really at all. Didn't play at all. So, yeah, off he goes, 50k. There's some money. Next up, Paul Jones, a striker. He goes to Rhydywmwyn for around 500k. Had an okay season, well, not a very good season with him, but as you can see, did not play much at all for us either. Just annoying that we signed him for 2.9 million, but 500k, still some money back there. Next up, Lee Hargreaves goes to Luton in the Premier League for 3.4 million, which was an incredible sale when he played 2 games last year and had a 6.2 average rating in the league. So we've absolutely pulled their pants down. And as you can see, he's not had the best of seasons there. But yeah, a centre mid that I just didn't think was going to get played at all. We didn't play him last year, and we got fantastic money for him there. So yeah, great sale. Next up, Paul Taylor. No, not Paul Taylor. Philip Taylor. Philip Taylor, he leaves for, I think, 300k. He goes to Llanelli in the non-leagues of the Welsh League. Did pretty well down there, but we got him on a free. He never really did anything, and then we let him go. Well, we sold him for 300k, so wheeler dealer, Alex Moore, here we go. So yeah, there goes Philip Taylor. Finally, on the outs, we have Simon Owen, a former Barry Youth Intake player, left-back / right-back. He joins TNS for 450k. Signed him when potentially we thought he could be something. Didn't do anything, went on loan to Bangor City. Was even worse. Been okay for TNS in the non-leagues, but yeah, still 450k though. Fantastic money. Overall, we had about, well, I would say maybe 5 million. We had a few sales here at the end of this season, so that'll be in the next one. But yeah, let's move on. Firstly, we got some loaners as well, actually. So there's people like Promise. He's gone out on loan this year to Rhydywmwyn. Osvaldo Valencia has gone out on loan to Chile. Altian's gone out on loan to Bala. There's a few loans that players weren't getting game time this year. So yeah, they go out on loan. But let's look at the ins now. First up is Antonis Baxavanos, a 24-year-old Greek striker that we picked up on a free transfer from PAOK. He's had a very good year, actually. Wasn't our main starting striker, but 17 starts, 12 goals, and 13 assists with a 7.32 average rating is nothing to be sniffed at. Fantastic production from him. We had a lot of strikers and a lot of attacking midfielders, so everyone was rotating quite a lot. But he pulled his part very well, so fantastic player to pick up on a free there. Next in, Thanasis Goutidis, another Greek player picked up on a free, and it's another Greek striker. We've got him from Addis. He also was sort of a backup striker, but did very well for us. 12 goals and 8 assists in 21 starts for us. He had a good season as well. Although the game has a very funny way of when he has a good game, the superlatives that they come out for him are very, very interesting. Right. 5. Guti distinguished. Sure. Sure. Next up is a player that we signed last year and we re-signed this year, Tony Hawkinson. We firstly signed him on a loan from Helsingborg for 17.5k per week. However, I went, okay, he's too good. So then we signed him on a free. 26-year-old Swedish striker slash attacking midfielder was great because he could play both of those sort of shadow striker and advanced forward roles there. Annoyingly, from his loan, he had the loan last year, and then he had a loan this year, and then all of that data got deleted when he joined on a free. So he was something on like 8 goals in 10 games before we signed him on a permanent transfer. So this is only from January. So he scored 10 goals and got 2 assists in 15 games. So I think he would have been on something like 18, 19 goals and probably like 6 or 7 assists in maybe 20 games. So a fantastic player there, and actually a permanent addition to Rhydywmwyn now. So fantastic signing there. Next up, one of the first loanees of this year and one of the first loanees from Barry, Jurgen Havertz, a player that we signed, obviously, back in the day from Belgium, and he has joined us on loan. He was probably our starting right back, yeah. 36 starts for him. He was a fantastic player. Could play centre-back as well. Really, really good. Annoying that we're developing another team's player, but Barry have so many players at the moment that... yeah, you might as well just take advantage. Even got 2 Belgium caps while playing for us, so that's how good he was. Next up, Andrei Popescu, a Romanian attacking midfielder slash striker. We picked him up on a free from CS Craiova. Didn't have the best of seasons with us. He was sort of that sort of backup player, and he didn't get a loan, so he sort of, as you can see, only 3 starts on a 6.63. Did better internationally, but yeah, one of those players that probably gets a loan next year or even a transfer, but still, a free transfer, so nothing too much to worry about. Next up, one of our signings of the season, Erik Lung, a Swedish 28-year-old striker that we picked up for 71k from Djurgården. Technically, we could have got him on a free transfer because his contract was coming up at Djurgården. It was the 6-month deal, but I said 71k. We have enough money, we'll pay that. And what a decision that was. He had 28 goals in 34 starts and 16 assists. A fantastic player overall. 7.4 in all competitions. Actually did worse in the league, but yeah, absolutely fantastic player. And now he's got a good bit of interest from a number of clubs. So we'll have to see how that goes. But yeah, what a signing he was. Next up, another Scandinavian, but this time a Norwegian centre-back in Bjornar Björknes, 26-year-old centre-back there. We signed from Molde. A similar situation, a 6-month deal. You can see where we were looking for a while. And then they said, well, do you want him now? And I went, well, yeah, 25k, I'll take him now. Was a constant centre-back presence there. 38 starts for us, 7.11 overall. Can't complain. Didn't score or assist anything, but he was just there and he defended. That's the main thing about it. So there you go. Lovely stuff. And our final signing from Scandinavia, another Swede in Per Pettersson, a left-back slash centre-back and right-back, and potential striker sometimes. 26-year-old, we signed him for 425k from Malmö. This was a 6-month deal, but they wanted a bit more money. But I said, we've got the money this year, let's spend a bit. And he had a fantastic season for us, 24 starts, 4 goals, 7.36 average rating overall. Yeah, good player. So that is, I think all our Swedes are now filled up. So we can't sign any more Swedes anymore, sadly. Next up is another loanee from Barry, Ciro Chirabuni, who is an Italian centre mid slash attacking midfielder. He mostly played centre mid for us, but a fantastic player, to be honest. 24 years old, got him from Barry. Obviously, we signed him back in the day from Siena. But yeah, he had 23 starts for us, 1 goal and 3 assists in the league. Overall, in all competitions, a bit better, 7.04 average rating, 3 goals and 4 assists in 32 starts. But yeah, could play centre mid, could play attacking mid. A fantastic player there. Next up of the Barry loans is Andre Evers, a Dutch centre mid that we picked up on loan. Obviously, we picked him up for Barry back in the day from Den Bosch and had a series of loans. He didn't start too much for us. He was more of a reserve player, or backup player. However, he performed admirably when called upon. 8 starts, 2 goals, 3 assists, and a 7.21 average rating. And finally, one of the last Barry loans, Mauro Rebetaro, another centre mid slash attacking midfielder. As you could tell, we needed a certain area of players. An Argentinian that we signed for Barry back in the day from Union, had a fantastic season with us. They're all interesting. They're much better when they have continental and cup competitions included. 9 goals and 7 assists in 37 starts. A fantastic attacking midfielder for us this season. Oh, yes, another thing. We did also extend Julian Satoka's loan from Barry, the Spanish centre-back. We had him for another year. He was sort of a backup this time. 23 starts for him, 7.16 average rating. It also helps to get around the loan limit rule because you're only allowed 4 from one club. However, if you agree at the season before, doesn't count. So we had 5 Barry players on loan this year. And theoretically, you could keep doing more and more each season if you can keep getting them on loan each year. So maybe that'll be a tactic for us. Next up is one of our first speculative transfers with Vicente Gumia, a 17-year-old Spanish goalkeeper, signed for 575k from Mallorca, so quite a low amount. That was his release clause. He only started 8 starts over total and 11 conceded, so not the best, only 1 clean sheet. But he's young, he's got fantastic potential on him, actually. It was a backup to Andy Allen this season, so we'll have to see how he does. But yeah, very, very excited with how he can turn out for us. Finally, the last transfer, another speculative transfer, Mamadou Sagna, an 18-year-old Senegalese centre-back that we signed for 24k from Casa Sport. He has good potential on him, not so good now he's joined us, doesn't have a work permit, so we'll have to see what we can do with him, whether he'll find one, but still, I probably think we could get some more money for him if we sell him on. But yeah, that is all the transfers today. So let's get into the fixture list and our first ever European group stages. So, we started our league campaign with a 1-0 win over Carmarthen, followed by a 3-1 loss over Port Talbot. And then we faced Haverfordwest in the Premier League Cup, which is where we first changed to our new formation. And as you can see, an 87th minute winner gave us a big win in the Premier League Cup. And yeah, but as you can see, there's a lot of green here. We also started our Europa League campaign versus Fenerbahce. This ended in a 3-3 draw with Anara with a last-minute equaliser for us. Not a bad performance from us at all. This formation, it was a very interesting one. It was very good at beating the smaller teams. As you can see, we beat Goitra 4-0 and 4-2 here. But against the bigger sides, you might have a few issues. We did end up beating Olympiacos 2-1 to get our first ever Europa League win, with Lung and Harkinson, the 2 Swedes, joining up and getting the goals here. We also had a big issue with just scoring. As you can see, 35 shots we had in this game and 13 on target. Not the best. We then had also, as you can see, Haverfordwest. There was a 4-2 loss. We had 23 shots and 10 on target. It was very much, I feel, if this formation is for a good team, I think you can score lots. It's just that we don't have the best players. So they get in the places to shoot, they just can't hit the target. And we would constantly get FM'd by the bigger sides here. We continued on, though. We had a big win over Cologne here, 3-2. Bujar Deja, our Albanian striker, with a hat-trick in this game. 5-0 over Bala here. We also had Aberystwyth, as you can see. They actually did deserve this one, but we lost to them. We went on and beat Cologne 5-0 away. Probably the best game of the season for us. A ridiculous result there. We then also had an incredible win in the Premier League Cup semi-final over Aberystwyth, a 4-1 win, absolute domination. Probably helped us that it was the middle of an international break, so a lot of our players were still here and a lot of theirs were gone. But I'm not gonna say no to a semi-final win, you know. We then also lost to Afenlido 4-1, a draw with Fenerbahce, and a win against Olympiacos to finish our Europa League group. And to show you what happened in the group stages, we'll go to all of the groups here. And as you can see, where is it? Where are we? Here we are. We top the group in our first ever time in. 4 wins and 2 draws. Obviously, we drew against Fenerbahce twice and beat Cologne and Olympiacos. But fantastic. Top of the group. You'd think we get a nice draw for the next time. No. Spoiler alert, we didn't. We got Fenerbahce. Not Fenerbahce. We got Benfica. Bloody Benfica. They haven't been in the Europa League for 20 years. They were in the Champions League final 2 years ago versus us when I was at Barry for my last ever season. So yeah, that didn't go too well. But as we continue on, we had a number of good league wins here. And actually, coming up to the split in the league season, we were actually very close to being in the top 6. But in actuality, we ended up in the bottom 6 compared to last year. So we had a good run of easy fixtures for the next time. We also had the Premier League Cup final, our first ever cup final with Rhydywmwyn, but we lost 1-0 to a penalty. We just couldn't get anything going in this game. 13 shots, 3 on target. We did have more shots than them, but just less on target, and we just couldn't take our chances. All the strikers just didn't perform. and we lost our first cup final there, very sadly there. But yes, as you can see, we got into the second half of the league campaign and we smashed it. We won literally every game bar that no draw to go through and top our league campaign. And it was very funny, actually. If we look at the league campaign, we broke the record for the most points as a 7th place team. Before we came in, the record was 58. We had 68 points in 7th place. We were 4 points off Barry in first. It was ridiculous. To be honest, when the league split, we had about 40 points. We were very close to Haverfordwest. But obviously, because it's a league split, we play everybody down here twice again. Well, if you're in the top 6, you play everyone in the top 6 twice again. So as you can see, a lot of the time, if you go through the seasons, the 2nd place team, or the 7th place team, will normally get more points than the 6th place team. Like Aberystwyth here, they got 57. Goitre got 43. Not so on that season, but a lot of the time, the 7th place might get more. But I don't think we've ever seen it to this degree. 68 points in total. We had 80 goals, 50 against. As you can see, the defense was pretty poor. We had more goals conceded than Goitre there. But yeah, 22 wins though, second most wins out of everybody. It was a fantastic season in the league, to be fair, and we ruined it by losing in the playoffs. We played Goitre in the Europlaces playoff semi-final and lost 2-1. Another game where we dominated and just couldn't get anything going, and Goitre went on to win it. And then Haverfordwest beat them in the final. So no Europe for us next year. Just, we had our better season on it, but better than last year. But yeah, no Europe next year. And also, we did get to the Welsh Cup final. And we lost this one. I was very unhappy that this game. They took the lead early on. We equalised through Eric Lung. They then got we got a penalty and Phil Matthews sent off. Yeehaw goes on to miss it. And then we concede in extra time because 10 men is OP on any Football Manager game. And yeah, we lose 2 cup finals to Pennybont. If we won this, we would have had Europe. Really, really annoying. I was pissed. I was pissed at the time. But yeah. Yeah, not so good. We also obviously had our Europa League knockout round versus Benfica. We lost 3-0 away, to be expected, honestly. We actually held them 0-0 till half-time, and then second half they sort of took over. But the second leg was incredible. We won 2-1. We actually had them very well. They took the lead early on, but then after that, it was all us. Tedio Enara and Eric Lung with the goals to give us a huge win over Benfica. We did lose 4-2 on aggregate, but still, to play Benfica and beat them at home is a fantastic achievement. The team weren't so happy with that, though. Lost on aggregate. We've just beaten Benfica, man. We've just beaten Benfica. Fuck's sake. Oh, you joking me? I should have said we're unlucky. Oh, no nuance. No nuance in the game, is there? Oh, complaining about an 8-year-old game. Fuck's sake. So yeah, that is our season. We did pretty well in the league. Unfortunately, no Europe next year, so we'll have to see how things go. Our squad looks good. If to show you how we did, Eric Lung, of course, 28 goals for him. Fantastic season for him. Deja with 15, very underrated from him. Dervisevic, a bit sort of fallen off a bit, 12 goals, but 15 assists as well. It was a lot of shared duties, to be fair. Because of that formation, you've got 3 strikers and you've got 2 attacking midfielders. There's so much rotation. As you see, Baxavanos got 12, Gutidis got 12, Inara got 11, also another fantastic season from him, 7.91 average rating overall. Our man of the season, again, so good. Hawkinson got 10, Rebatara got 9. There's a lot of players with a lot of goals. Assist-wise as well, it was also shared quite a lot. Lung and Inara both got 16. Dervisevic with 15. But yes, a fantastic season there. Our under-19s, we didn't get anyone good in the youth intake. Still, Ashley Rogers, our best prospect at the moment. He was getting a few more chances this year. Five games, but the loanies sort of take up a bit of his time. But we'll probably wait on actually any good young players coming through. But yes, so let's have a look at Europe. So, of course, we were in the Europa League and we topped our group. However, there was 2 more teams in the Europa League with us, I think. Well, and there was Newtown, who got absolutely smoked. 6 losses from 6, but they are in the non-league. I don't know how they decide they go in, but they went in. And the other team was Haverfordwest, who smashed it. 5 wins and a draw in their group. to go through to the second knockout round. So that was very, very good there. If we go to the knockout round, I thought if we go to the group stage of the Champions League, actually, that might be a better position to go through. We had 5 teams in the Champions League group stages due to the fact that Aberystwyth won the Europa League last year. So here we go. Barry topped their group in Group A over PSV with 4 wins and 2 draws. Aberystwyth top their group over Angers with a good 4 wins, 1 draw, 1 loss. Club Brugge are the reason why we had to face Benfica. They had 4 draws in their group and came third. This is the first time since 22-92 that Benfica have dropped into the Europa League. And of course, it was the year we topped our group. Very, very annoying there. Port Talbot also drop into the Europa League with 3 losses and 3 wins in their group. Not good enough as Pisa and Ajax top them. Pennybont come second in their group below Valladolid with 3 wins, a loss, 2 losses and a draw. But Pennybont had a tough group. They had Monaco in there. So to drop Monaco to the Europa League, fantastic work there. And then finally, Afan Lido, 6 wins from 6 in their group. Fantastic work from them. Okay, so on to the knockout round in the Europa League first. Haverfordwest, unfortunately, get Lyon and lose 5-3 on aggregate. They won, drew 0-0 first game and then 5-3 loss in the second leg there. Obviously, we go out to Benfica. Port Talbot, who did drop down, did beat Shakhtar, though, to get some team into the next round there. And then there, they also beat Nuremberg 5-1 to get to the quarterfinals. But that is where their journey ended as they lost to Sporting there. It's actually a packed Europa League. You see Benfica going out to Lyon. These sort of teams are normally teams you see in the Champions League. Monaco, Lyon, Sporting, and Benfica are all teams I've faced in Champions League finals. So 4 teams there that were absolutely massive there. The semi-finals, Lyon beat Sporting and Valencia beat Arsenal. And in the final, Valencia beat Lyon. So no French winner there. But Valencia end up winning the Europa League there. Onto the Champions League, we had 4 Welsh teams in the knockouts there, and they all got through in the first knockout round. Pennybont beat Pisa 3-1 on aggregate. Barry smashed Angers, probably a tough game, 7-3 on aggregate, winning the second leg 6-2. Afan Lido with a huge win over Real Madrid, a 6-5 aggregate win. And then Aberystwyth knocking out Porto, a fantastic result there as well, 4-3 on aggregate. Valladolid beat Lille, PSV beat AC Milan, PSG beat Inter Milan, and Club Brugge doing well, beating Ajax there to get through to the quarterfinals. In the quarters, it was unfortunately 4 Welsh teams, but 2 ties where it was all Welsh. So Barry faced off against Pennybont and won 7-3 on aggregate with a 6-1 win there. Valladolid beat Club Brugge. And Afan Lido beat Aberystwyth on penalties as PSG knocked out PSV as well. So into the semi-finals. Would it be an all-Welsh semi-final? No, it would not. There was a chance for an all-Welsh final. Barry smashed it. 7-1 on the second leg versus PSG. 8-3 on aggregate. And Afan Lido bottle a 3-0 lead to lose 4-0. In the second leg. To be completely honest, they did end the game with 9 men. I think they were on 9 men from the 70th minute, and they only conceded in extra time. So they held on pretty long, but yeah, not good to bottle that. So the final, Barry back in their first ever Champions League final, post me. How will they do? And they win it. 3-0 victory. Bruno Martin, Ryan Carter, one of their new signings, and Eduardo Rodriguez with the goals. They were completely dominant. We watched along to this, and yeah, absolutely dominant. But that is fantastic for the coefficients. Our coefficients are looking great now. 2 years now since we've left Barry. A Champions League final loss, a Champions League final win, and a Europa League final win. 19.375. Not as good as last year, interestingly. But still, we were far and away clear from everybody else. So we stay at top in the coefficients. And of course, we're not going to be there to help them next year. So we'll have to see how things go on that front. And that is mostly it. We had a fantastic season. It was a lot of high points and also probably a lot of low points as well. The end of the season was not good. The cup final losses were gutting, and also the playoff loss. No Europe next year. We're going to see how things go. And we have our new formation. So roll the clip of us playing it. There we go. Right. Here we go. So, not the 4-1-5. This is all the base formations in FM. So, let's see what the formation is going to be next year. This year was a tough one, but Duck God helped us through it. Probably need Duck God's help again next year. But let's go. What's it going to be? Oh, okay. 4222 DM Narrow. One of the newly added ones. Okay. 422 DM Narrow. What is this? 422 DM Narrow. Fuck, okay. Right. Right, the Brazil one. That's a fun one. Oh, that's not too bad. This is the one we always see when we play, like, the Club World Cup. So we're obviously going to have to change things up because I've got a lot of strikers and a lot of centre mids. And there you go. As you can see, we've gone from, as I go move over to the left here, we've gone from ultra attacking to a bit more defensive now. 4-2-2-2 narrow DM. So we're going to have to figure out, we've got all of the attacking midfielders and strikers now. We're going to have to convert them to centre mids and DMs. This is why it is so important that at the moment we're training a lot of our players to play multiple positions, because from one season to the next, we are overloaded in attackers. Now we have to try and find some defensive midfielders. Also, why loans help so much, because someone like Cherubini or Evers, they were sort of loaned to play attacking midfielder. Now we can let them go and try and bring in some other players. But yes, let us see how next season goes. We've got the 23-12 Euros as well coming up, which will be very interesting. But yeah, so hope you guys enjoyed this. It's been Alex, and I'll see you guys next time. Oh, who's on a 6.0? I see him. Dervisevic, mate. Get off the pitch. Oh, they've fucking injured Inara as well. You fucking bastards. What is wrong with you? God, fuck's sake. Oh, you dickheads. I don't even have an attacking midfielder to play there. Oh, hold on, I can put fucking shields up there. You dickheads. What's wrong with you? Knock, we need to fully injure him so he can't take long throws anymore. Injure his arms. Break his arms. Oh, loses out. Dermis goes long. Alan, get there! No! Why? He's offside! He's offside! Oh, fuck. Fucking hell. It's an emotional roller coaster. It's an emotional roller coaster, this fucking game, man. Whew.